Inside a strange prison called the Vertical Self-Management Center, Goring wakes up in a cold concrete room marked level 48. The cell is completely empty except for 2 beds, a sink, and a huge square hole in the middle of the floor. His roommate, an older man named Trimagesi, calmly tells him that this place is known as the Pit. There are many levels stacked above and below them, each holding 2 people who all use fake names chosen by the prison. Every day, a large platform of food travels down through the hole. It stops on each floor for just 2 minutes, and the prisoners must eat whatever they can because the platform keeps descending. The lower someone is, the less food remains. When Goring sees the platform for the first time, he decides not to eat because he isn't hungry and wants to leave some food for the people below. After eating his fill, Trimagesi spits on the table, explaining that people on higher levels probably do the same to the food before it reaches them. Goring keeps an apple for later, but when the platform goes down, the cell suddenly heats up like an oven. Trimagesi warns him that keeping food is banned, and if he doesn't throw the apple away, they will both burn. Goring quickly gets rid of it. This moment reminds Goring of the interview he had before entering this place. He signed a paper agreeing that once he entered, he had to stay for the full term. Every prisoner is allowed to bring one personal item, and Goring chose the book Don Quixote. He came here by choice. 6 months in this prison will earn him an official diploma. The next day, Goring refuses to eat again, and Trimagesi complains that someone as wasteful shouldn't be on level 48. When Goring asks about his past, Trimagesi tells him it all began with a TV commercial. He bought a special knife he saw advertised, but only days later the company released a better version. Furious, he threw his TV out the window, which tragically hit a man on the street. After that, he was given 2 options, a mental institution or the pit. He chose the pit, and that's how he ended up here. Trimagesi explains that the lowest floor he has ever been on was 132, and even from there he could see more levels dropping far into the darkness. That's why he knows the pit goes much deeper. He also tells Goring that no food ever reaches the very bottom floors. Spending 1 month down there isn't the worst part. The real nightmare is getting 2 months on low levels in a row, because that's when people get desperate. Worried about this, Goring leans over the hole and tries to talk to the people above and below, asking them to share their food responsibly. No one listens. Trimagesi simply leans over and urinates toward the level below as his answer. He also reveals that the personal item he chose to bring into the pit is that famous knife from the TV commercial. When the platform comes again, Goring finally gives in and eats. Suddenly someone from a higher level falls straight through the hole, speeding past them. Trimagesi barely reacts. He says it happens often and nobody ever tries to stop it. Trimagesi then talks about the many floors he has lived on, and casually mentions that cellmates stay together after each monthly shuffle. This makes Goring understand the truth. Trimagesi ate his previous partner when he was stuck on a very low floor. Trimagesi claims he didn't harm the man himself, he simply used the body that arrived. The next time the platform stops, Maharu is sitting on it. She looks hurt, and Goring worries for her, but Trimagesi tells him to mind his own business. Maharu rides the platform every month because she is searching for her missing child. To increase her chances of being placed with the child, she eliminates every cellmate she gets. The person who fell earlier was probably one of her victims. When Maharu reaches the next floor below them, the prisoners try to attack her. Goring shouts at them to stop, but he doesn't need to. Maharu easily fights them off and goes back to the platform. At the end of the month, gas fills the cell and both men fall unconscious. When Goring wakes up, he is on level 171, tied tightly to his bed. Trimagesi calmly explains that he did this for his own survival. Goring is younger and stronger, and with no food coming to this level, he had to prepare. Screams echo from other floors as different prisoners discover their new positions, and when the platform finally arrives, it's completely empty. After 8 long days, Trimagesi finally decides it's time for him to eat. Ignoring Goring's begging, he takes his sharp knife and cuts a slice of flesh from Goring's thigh. Before he can take a bite, the platform arrives, and Maharu is standing on it. Maharu remembers how Goring tried to help her before. Without hesitation, she jumps on Trimagesi and attacks him with his own knife. She frees Goring, puts the blade in his hand, and lets him finish Trimagesi himself. After doing so, Goring passes out. When he wakes up, he's lying in bed. His leg is roughly bandaged with a torn piece of sheet, and Maharu is quietly eating from Trimagesi's body. She even brings some meat to Goring. After a moment of hesitation, he forces himself to eat. Maharu then gives him water, gets back on the platform, and leaves without speaking. More days go by. Trimagesi's body starts to rot, and Goring is forced to eat whatever he can, even worms. He begins to hallucinate, seeing Trimagesi's ghost watching him, judging him for every bite. When the month ends, the sleeping gas fills the cell again. Goring dreams of being together with Maharu. Then he wakes up to something licking his face. It's a dog. To his surprise, his new cellmate is Imagiri, the woman who interviewed him when he first volunteered to enter the pit. The dog is the personal item she chose to bring. Their new location is level 33. Goring remembers how strange and slow Imagiri's pauses were during the interview. Now, in the present, she explains she volunteered just like he did, and she claims she had no idea people actually died in this place. She believes there are only 200 levels in total. When Goring tells her there isn't enough food for everyone, she argues that the food would be enough if people only took what they needed. She believes the pit needs an act of spontaneous cooperation, a moment where everyone decides to share. Goring laughs at the idea, thinking it's impossible. He asks if something big, like the death of a child, would force change, but Imagiri says that under 16ths aren't allowed here at all. When the platform arrives with food, Imagiri takes only a small amount for herself, then gives a bit to her dog. After that, she carefully prepares 2 neat food portions. Her plan is simple. When the platform reaches the level below, she'll convince the prisoners there to eat only what she set aside, and then prepare 2 more rations to pass the message down. But when she tries to explain this to the prisoners below, they completely ignore her. Goring tells her the hard truth. The administration doesn't want real teamwork. Imagiri gets upset, insisting the system isn't bad because she worked for them and never had problems. Goring answers that working for them only gave her special treatment, like the ability to choose her cellmate. Even so, Imagiri doesn't quit. Every day, she tries again to teach the lower levels to ration, but nobody listens. 2 weeks pass. Finally, Goring snaps. He threatens the people below, saying if they don't follow Imagiri's plan, he'll use the platform as a toilet every day, and they'll have no choice but to accept it. This time, the threat works. The next floors begin to pass the message down. Later, the platform comes down with Maharu, unconscious on top of the food. Goring and Imagiri lift her onto the bed and try to help her recover. Meanwhile, Imagiri's dog sneaks around and steals some food. Once the platform goes down, the cell suddenly turns freezing cold as punishment for keeping food. Goring is forced to chase the dog, grab the stolen food, and throw it back down the hole before they freeze to death. That night, Goring gives the bed to Maharu and sleeps on the floor. But he wakes up to the sound of a fight. Imagiri and Maharu are struggling because Maharu killed the dog and ate it. The next day, Maharu rides the platform back down. Goring tells Imagiri about Maharu's search for her child, but Imagiri explains the truth. Maharu arrived alone 10 months ago. She was an actress with no family who also volunteered to enter the pit, which means the child's story might not be real at all. Imagiri admits she worked for the administration and sent people into the pit without understanding how terrible it truly was. She also reveals she has been battling cancer for 3 years. After learning she wouldn't survive, she volunteered to enter this place hoping she could help, but now she feels hopeless and tired. On their last day on level 33, Goring tries to convince her to eat something since they might land on a lower floor next month. But Imagiri can't even get out of bed. She's too depressed to care. The next morning, Goring wakes up on floor 202, proving there are far more levels than Imagiri believed. The truth was too much for her. She ended her life using the bed sheets. Right then, Goring begins hallucinating again. Trimagesi appears, asking if he will eat his new companion. This time the hallucinated Imagiri and her dog show up too, insisting that Goring should use her body to survive. Goring tries to block out their voices, keeping himself busy by chewing pages from Don Quixote and marking the days on the wall with a broken plate. But the hunger eventually wins. With Trimagesi's voice guiding him, Goring finally forces himself to eat from Imagiri's body. When the month ends, he wakes up in a much better place, floor 6. His heart jumps with hope. For a moment, he imagines Maharu in the bed next to him, coming at him with a knife, but it's only a nightmare. His real new cellmate is Bahara, who brought a rope as his one allowed item. Bahara is full of energy and believes this is his chance to climb up to level 0. He asks the people on level 5 above them to hold the rope and help him up. At first, they act friendly and pretend to help, but once Bahara starts climbing, the woman above humiliates him by pulling down her pants and defiling him from above. Stunned and disgusted, Bahara loses his grip and falls. Goring manages to catch him in time, but the rope slips away into the hole, lost forever. When the platform arrives, Goring and Bahara eat while listening to the couple on level 5 getting a little too romantic above them. Days go by, and the hallucinations return. Trimagesi appears again, proudly saying Goring is close to finishing his stay, with just 1 more month left. Imagiri's voice follows, reminding him that real change never happens on its own. Her words spark an idea in Goring's mind. He turns to Bahara and explains his plan. They should ride the platform down with whatever weapons they can make and force people to ration the food, so everyone gets their share. Goring explains he once calculated the speed of the platform, while stuck on level 202. Using that, he estimates there are around 250 floors. If that's true, they might actually be able to help. Bahara agrees, and together they break part of the bed to create metal pieces they can use as weapons. When the platform comes, they jump on it and soon reach level 7. Goring warns Bahara not to let anyone touch the food. The people on the upper levels always eat well, so they must start delivering food only after level 50, where people truly struggle. Bahara hesitates at first since the prisoners on this level once helped him when he tried to climb upward. But the old man on the bed reacts angrily and tries to grab the food. That moment convinces Bahara that Goring's idea is right. Together, they push everyone away and continue their descent, threatening the prisoners if they try to take anything. After several more levels, Bahara is surprised to see Brambang, a wise old man he deeply respects. Brambang approves of their mission, but explains that the administration has no empathy and won't care even if they succeed. However, the workers at the top might notice if they send something meaningful back up, something that acts as a message. So Goring and Bahara choose the panna cotta, a fancy dessert most prisoners never get to touch. If it reaches the lowest level untouched, it will become a powerful symbol. Goring and Bahara continue their journey downward, guarding the panna cotta while warning people to stay away from the food. When they pass level 50, they finally start giving out small portions. The prisoners here are starving, so they accept the food with deep gratitude. On level 97, they meet a sick old man and a boy with a troubled mind. Goring tries to help the old man by giving him some soup, but the boy calmly says there's no point. He plans to end the old man's life later to use him as food. Goring and Bahara leave in shock. The next floor holds only a corpse. Goring realizes this might be the place where Maharu once woke up. Since the platform doesn't stop at levels without living people, he understands his calculation was wrong. There must be more than 250 floors. Then, on the next level, they see something horrifying. 2 violent men attacking Maharu. One man swings a sword, and the other is huge and strong. Goring and Bahara jump in to save her, but the fight is intense. Bahara manages to defeat his attacker first, and rushes to help Goring with the big man. They win the fight, but they're too late. Maharu is already gone. Goring wants to stay with her, but Bahara pulls him onto the platform before it moves on without them. They continue descending, giving food to anyone still alive, but many floors hold only bodies. Eventually, the platform reaches level 333, which appears to be the very last one. At first, the room looks empty. Then they notice movement. Someone is hiding under the bed. It's Molly, the child Maharu had been searching for. Goring and Bahara walk toward her, and immediately the platform begins to go even lower, disappearing into darkness. Goring panics and tells Bahara to throw the panna cotta back up the hole as a message. But Bahara refuses. Surprisingly, the room doesn't heat up or freeze to punish them, which means they didn't break any rules by staying. After a long moment of doubt, Bahara hands the panna cotta to Molly instead. The three remain together on the lowest floor. Goring becomes overwhelmed by visions of Trimagesi, Imagiri, and now Maharu too. Then Bahara, weakened by the wounds from the earlier fight, looks at Goring and suddenly agrees with the hallucinations. He says the girl herself is the true message. When Goring wakes up later, he finds that Bahara has passed away from his injuries. When the platform returns, Goring gently carries Molly onto it, and they begin their final descent. The platform sinks into what seems like level 0, a place with no lights, no sound, and nothing inside its endless darkness. As the platform settles, Goring sees Trimagesi appear once more in his mind. Trimagesi calmly tells him that this is where Goring must stop. He explains that Goring cannot be part of the message, only the child can. Understanding this, Goring steps off the platform and watches from the shadows. Molly stays on the platform as it begins to rise again. Goring watches her disappear upward, hoping that when she reaches the top, she will finally reveal the truth to the people above. The truth of what really happens inside the pit.